Maxine Waters is a lunatic California communist. She's been in government for way too long. She's like 78 years old, and she's a nut job.
And guess what this liberal would be all about? This liberal will be all about socializing.
Yeah, so little slip of the tongue there. Maxine Waters basically calling for socialism.
Would be about basically taking over and the government running all of your companies.
Wanting to socialize private institutions, government run. That's basically what the Democrats want, communism.
And guess what this liberal would be all about? This liberal will be all about socializing.
Maxine Waters is a crazy California leftist communist.
I want to thank Imran Khan, the president of the Council of Pakistan-American Affairs, for the invitation. I thank him along with the Islamic Society of Orange County and everybody on the board who's been involved in putting this town hall together. Over the last year, and due to the focus of House Republicans on so-called Muslim radicalization.
So-called Muslim radicalization. Yeah, so-called.
We have seen politicians and pundits attacking the Islamic faith as a security threat to the United States.
I would say the Islamic faith is a security threat to the United States. I don't see any other faiths going around blowing things up like parades or buildings or driving trucks into crowds of people. Yeah, I'd say that's a danger to the United States.
Across the country, these people are exploiting fear and trying to convince state legislatures that the steady adoption of Sharia tenets is a strategy extremists are using to transform the United States into an Islamic country.
I don't think the Republicans are spreading fear. I think the Muslims who are committing terrorist acts are spreading fear.
The scare tactics are working in at least 13 states where lawmakers are now considering the adoption of legislation forbidding Sharia.
There should be a law in 50 United States forbidding Sharia law. Now, I doubt that'll ever happen in California, but it should be a federal law that Sharia law has no place in the United States of America. Sharia law is not compatible at all with Western law, American law, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. Sharia law is essentially the law of Islam. That is not compatible with the United States or the West and our way of life. It's just the way it is.
A bill in the Tennessee State Senate, for example, would make adherence to Sharia punishable by 15 years in jail, and one of the nation's Republican presidential candidates, Newt Gingrich, has called for a federal law that says Sharia law cannot be recognized by any court in the United States.
Sharia law should not be recognized by any court in the United States. The only law that should be recognized by American courts are American laws, not Sharia law, not any religious law for that matter. The law of the land, the Constitution, American law. That's it.
Now, those of you who know me know that I call names, and I tell it like it is, and so I want you to know who these people are. In addition to the state attacks, the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee.
Homeland Security. Yeah, That's the security of our homeland. And Sharia law, well, it's kind of anti-homeland security, don't you think? Yeah, I don't think terrorism and archaic Middle Eastern law go very well with American law. Sorry, Maxine, not sorry. Screw your damn Sharia law. Sharia law should be banned from the United States of America. End of discussion.
Has vowed to continue his controversial radicalization hearings, specifically focusing on Muslim Americans.
Listen, it has nothing to do with Muslim Americans. If they want to be Muslim Americans, they assimilate to American law. If you don't want to follow, and I don't care where you're from, if you don't want to follow American law, please leave the United States of America. Go back to wherever they practice Sharia law and have all the Sharia law you want. But in this country, this is the United States of America, and we follow American laws. End of discussion. Maxine Waters is a special kind of stupid. That is for damn sure.
While it is a challenge for lawmakers to strike the right balance in protecting both liberties and security, Chairman King's and other Republicans' disrespectful approach to thwarting extremism is contrary to American values and actually threatens national security.
Your disrespectful approach to American values and the safety of American citizens, now that's the problem. That's the disrespectful part. This is a country. We have rules and laws. We have people, citizens, that live here, that want to live here safely. Again, you don't like American laws, get the hell out of America. That goes for you too, Maxine Waters. You don't like it here, get the hell out of here. Go to the Middle East. Go live in the Sharia law land. It's that simple. You threaten national security pushing the Sharia law crap.
Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Waters of California.
Maxine Waters is a special kind of stupid.
Who also plans to skip the inauguration.
There are going to be more investigations to determine whether or not Trump or his advocates, people associated with him on his staff in the campaign, whether or not there was some collusion.
Show me the evidence.
Do you have evidence that there was in fact collusion between Trump associates and Russia during the campaign?
Not at this time.
In fact, we know that the Russians played an important role.
Where's the evidence, Maxine Waters? Where's the evidence?
And they tried to support Mr. Trump, and they tried to make sure that Hillary Clinton didn't get elected. And so I think that's a legitimate discussion.
Do you have evidence that there was in fact collusion between Trump associates and Russia during the campaign?
Not at this time.
Well, let's talk about where that leads to, Congresswoman. You've raised a good point here.
You raised a good point for you, not for anybody else.
I guess for you, it is important. If we find out that somebody on behalf of Donald Trump was on the phone or in email relations with somebody in Russia or the ambassador to America from Russia, and there was some sort of, as you call it, collusion, then what? Does that make Trump subject to impeachment? What do you mean by not legitimate? Just generally what you mean by the term.
Well,
if you find out there was a connection, there was collusion, your term.
Well, here's what I'm trying to get to. If we discover that Donald Trump or his advocates played a role in helping to devise strategy, if they're the ones who came up with crooked Hillary.
So Putin came up with crooked Hillary. This is what Trump needs to be impeached for. Woo!
If they're the ones who came up with she's ill, something's wrong with her energy.
Yeah, because that video of her passing out at the 9/11 memorial, that was a Russian hack.
And the way that he basically, described her in the campaign, I think that is something that would put the question squarely on the table whether or not he should be impeached.
Now, let's just say Putin did say, you know, somewhere, crooked Hillary, and Trump heard crooked Hillary. Hey, that's great. I like that. Is that really an impeachable offense? Maybe a trademark offense, maybe a copyright offense, but impeachable?
I have not called for impeachment.
So you think you can have an impeachable offense before you take office, in other words?
Putin is continuing to advance into Korea.
Korea? Really? I didn't know Putin was advancing into Korea.
Or whether he's talking about his relationship to Putin and the Kremlin, and knowing that they have hacked our DCCC and DNC.
Show me the evidence.
Do you have evidence that there was in fact collusion between Trump associates and Russia during the campaign?
Not at this time.
Well, that's a pretty precise answer. I know the investigation is continuing. Senator, thanks.
Don't you love how, like, when they don't get the answers they like on these news shows like this, Larry King, they just cut them off? Well, thank you. We got to go now.
And knowing that he is responsible for supplying the bombs that killed innocent children and families in
Aleppo. And what is Aleppo? You're kidding. No.
Yeah, in Aleppo.
Maxine Waters is having her Gary Johnson moment here.
Yeah, in Aleppo. And the fact that he is wrapping his arms around Putin.
A big bear hug for Putin. He's wrapping his arms all around him. While
Putin is continuing to advance into Korea.
She's still not too sure about the Korea thing, but you got to give her credit for sticking with it.
We cannot continue to have a president who's acting in this manner. It is dangerous to the United States of America.
Maxine Waters, you are dangerous to the United States of America.
I have not called for impeachment.
She might have forgot, though. She's a little cuckoo.
You said I'm going to fight every day until he's impeached. That's what you tweeted.
Yeah, but here's what I've said. My greatest desire is to lead him right into impeachment. Impeach 45. Impeach 45. Impeach 45.
Impeach 45. Impeach 45. Sorry, I was really into the moment. Yeah, Maxine Waters, she's a special one. She's a special kind of stupid.
So, Mark, she's become kind of a vocal voice for this impeachment call, and now you heard what she just said. Is she splitting hairs?
More than splitting hairs, Hallie. Here's what she's actually tweeted in the past, saying that she's going to fight every day until he's impeached.
Treated to a speech from the de facto leader of the congressional wing of the resistance, Congresswoman Maxine Waters.
Resist.
And this week, the Congresswoman took to Twitter to remind us all to stay focused on Donald Trump's relationship with Russia. On Friday, she tweeted, "Trump worked so hard this week to make people believe he was fighting with Putin. Trump will never criticize Putin because he's in bed with him."
Senator, but do you have evidence that there was in fact collusion between Trump associates and Russia during the campaign?
Not at this time.
Still no evidence.
And here with me now for our moment of Maxine is California Congresswoman Maxine Waters. Thank you so much for being here. So let's talk first about, I'm going to get back to the Russia stuff, but I want to first start and talk about these tax day protests.
Yes.
What do you think can come out of this? Donald Trump has made it pretty clear he's never going to release his tax returns. Do you think public pressure can change that?
Absolutely. I really do believe in the power of the people.
The power of the people. Resist. People.
And I think it's very important for us to resist and to demand. He must show his taxes. And I think the people have a right to know. We really need to know about Donald Trump because we are still trying to figure out all of his business entanglements and his conflicts of interest.
What are you the most concerned about of all of the sort of menu of issues, emoluments clause issues that we've have been hinted at with Donald Trump that could be in those returns? What to you is the biggest worry that is in there that we're not seeing?
Well, I don't want the President of the United States to be compromised in any way?
I think we avoided that by not electing Hillary Clinton, whom we all know has a real record of pay for play. She also has a real record with Russia, selling them uranium. It's funny how everybody is always so concerned about Trump's dealings with Russia, but yet Hillary Clinton sells them uranium and, uranium to make nuclear weapons. No one talks about that in the mainstream media and the fake news. But Trump, who there has been no evidence or proof of any kind of collusion or business or anything with Russia, and that's all we hear about. That's all we hear about, even though there's been, countless times, there's been so much non-proof that it's just ridiculous. Hillary Clinton, who's made millions of dollars from like the Saudis, from all sorts of pay-for-play access to the government, and all we hear about is Trump's collusions with Russia, which never taken place, at least not provable by any evidence. We all know, if there was even this much real proof that Trump is colluded with the Russians, or that the Russians have interfered with the election, it'll be everywhere. It would be everywhere. But there's none. None. All this time. But all they do is talk about this fake evidence and this non-existing collusion.
We don't know who he owes and how much he owes. There's all of the rumors.
Yeah, rumors. That's all that there are rumors.
About, having borrowed money from Russia during the 2008 crisis, because many of the major banks in this country would not lend him any money because of all of the debt that he had incurred and the bankruptcies that he had filed. And so we cannot have a president who can be blackmailed, who can be compromised.
Like I said, we avoided that by not electing Hillary Clinton. Talk about being able to be blackmailed and compromised. I mean, there are so many provable lies from Hillary Clinton that no one talks about. She lied about Benghazi. She lied about being under sniper fire when she went to the Middle East. How many people have died by crossing the Clintons' path? I mean, it's hysterical almost, if it weren't so horrifyingly sad. How much evidence against the Clintons, Hillary, there is that no one speaks about. But all they do are talk about these non-existing, rumored collusions and hacks, and I don't even need to mention it. We're all aware of it.
And we need to know more about his debt and his business dealings.
Folks, are you aware that Maxine Waters, our Maxine, this glittering jewel of colossal ignorance, Maxine Waters.
Glittering jewel of colossal ignorance. Gotta love Rush.
Has become the biggest rock star in Democrat politics to millennials.
It is kind of odd and funny, but it is true.
Do you know that?
Our millennials are a force. I recognize it, and I was the millennial once.
She was a millennial once. God, these people are so stupid. Stupid. She doesn't even know what a millennial is if she thinks she was a millennial. Yeah, you were born in 1990 or whenever millennials were born. Yeah, okay. 1890 maybe.
No longer, of course.
You may not know that, but I'm telling you, there is no bigger star in the Democrat Party today among millennials than Maxine Waters. Illustrating the abject stupidity, idiocy, and comic relief characteristics of Maxine Waters. Scary? Literally scary?
I was the millennial once. No longer, of course, but I love what you're doing. Thank you so very much.
Anyway, I hope you enjoy that. I just wanted to have a little fun playing around with some Maxine Waters videos, and she is a special kind of stupid, for real. Until the next time, resist. Praise Keck.